Ultimate elevations, blessings be upon you. Glory be to the Lord Jehovah Jireh for sure. Thank you for tapping in with me, your big bro, Blakk Gawd, here at the channel, Blakk Therapy. Y'all already know the vibes, man. This is going to be a different level of vibes, man. So I need you to strap in, but loosen yourself so your spirit can flap away to get a new level of favor, a big level of faith, so you can elevate and evolve to that great tree of life God made you to be. Glory be unto the Lord. Topic of today is you heard right, but you just spoke at the wrong time. Glory be unto the Lord. I need you to understand, my loved ones, you are so divine. And I'm going to get to the juice, but I need you to know this is a divine talk, okay? Everybody may not understand what I'm going to say, but I know you who are spiritual and strong and meant to understand, light for light, the luminaries of this throne, y'all going to bring this one home with you. And you're going to put it in your treasure box, and you're going to look at it every day, and this will change your life. Did you hear what I said? I said it slow so you know I know what I said, and I promise you, if you embed this in your meditation, and you lay in it with your sheets wrapped around you of truth, I promise you, it's gonna bring in a different level of blessings underneath your roof. Glory be unto the Lord. We're coming out of 2 Kings, okay? And I find this one to be the most relevant to knock this one out the park to help you know about your divineness and your spiritual elements that you have been given as a worker of the fulfillment of prophecies. Glory be unto the Lord. Of prophecies. Glory be unto the Lord. You got to understand, God poured his spirit out on you. And when he poured his spirit out on you, you were given a prophet's reward. And inside this reward, you have a certain gift that allows you to leave here and go into the future and see certain things happen before they happen. Glory be unto the Lord. That's why I told you, when you expose yourself to that and you came back to the present and you were trying to explain that to a particular person or just a situation, and they said what they said, and you felt like, well, maybe I'm tripping. You wasn't tripping. You took a spiritual trip and you came back to your spiritual home, which is right here, and it didn't happen yet. Glory be unto the Lord. You wasn't tripping. You wasn't tripping. But then when it did happen, you felt like, oh, they were a liar. No, you just told them too soon. And this is what we're going to talk about, okay? Glory be unto the Lord. So we're coming from 2 Kings chapter 8, and we're going to start with, let's start with verse 10. So this is Elisha, and he's talking to Hazael because he was sent by the king who was sick, and he sent a servant to the prophet to see if he was going to be healed from this sickness. And the prophet told Hazael, he was like, yeah, go your way and tell him the king will be healed. And that's in verse 10, right? Elisha says to him, go, say to him, you shall certainly recover. However, the Lord has shown me that he will really die, right? Glory be unto the Lord. Verse 11, then he set his countenance in a stare until he was ashamed. And the man of God wept. Glory be unto the Lord. And Hazael said, why is my Lord weeping? And he answered, because I know the evil that you will do to the children of Israel. Their strongholds will be set on fire. Their young men will be killed by the sword. And you will dash their children and rip open their women with child. So Hazael said, but what is your servant, a dog, that he should do this gross thing? And Elisha answered, the Lord has shown me that you will become king over Syria. Now listen, remember when I said Jesus wept and everybody thought he was weeping over Lazarus? Glory be unto the Lord. He wept right here because Christ seen, you guys don't have no faith. Everything that I have done for you guys, and you guys still are walking around as if I haven't shown you miracles and signs and I haven't shown you the Father through me. That's why I weep, because all that God has done to help you take that veil off your eyes, you guys are going out there purposely and putting it back on and saying, I don't know why this is happening. Right? The same way Hazael was told what he would do and then turned around and said, oh, that's gross. Then he departed from Elisha, verse 14, and came to his master and said to him, what did Elisha say to you? And he answered, he told me you would surely recover. But it happened the next day, verse 15, that he took a thick cloth and dipped it in water and spread it over his face, so he died, and Hazael reigned in his place. Now, the prophet told him, tell him that, however, the Lord has shown me that he will really die. See, he left that part out. My loved ones, I'm trying to let you know, you don't have to believe me, but I keep explaining to you guys that we live in a prophecy world, prolific. Glory be unto the Lord. Everybody is spiritual, and everybody is being told about everybody. Glory be on. That's what I'm trying to explain, and it bothers me because everybody's trying to act like, what are you talking about? You know what I'm talking about. Now I know before I started this video, I explained to you, Blakk, you just said they're gonna say you don't know what you're talking about. I'm talking about the enlightened ones. I'm talking about I'm you, you and me. You know what I'm talking about. People are just choosing because of fear, and that's going to be a whole different video because of fear. That's why they're trying to act like they don't, but they know, but they're just afraid. But people know you. People know your spirit. How do I know? Because Laban didn't even serve God. But did God not go to Laban and tell him, hey, don't say nothing good or bad to Jacob? He did. And that's how I know. Did he not go into the prophet's dream and tell him about Sarah? That's how I know. Glory be unto the Lord. Everybody knows. Everybody knows what's to come. Everybody knows what's going to happen. There's people in your group that knows they're going to betray you. They know it. And they still have the opportunity to change it. That's what I'm saying. Let me break this down to you guys. We serve a God that is an all-seeing God. His understanding is unmatched, can't be comprehended unless he wants you to understand his knowledge and wisdom. But it cannot be found out unless he wants you to find it. Glory beyond. There's many variants of you. You're a variable, and you come with many variables, right? I'm you, you are me. When you look, that's why Peter said, treat everybody like an oracle and treat everybody like self. Glory beyond. Because when you're staring at somebody, that is a version of you. And if you're really tapped into the spirit, you can understand what they're thinking. You can hear it. This is the part that be getting me because people are like, you can. Samuel heard God call his name. That's why I be trying to tell people, if you're really chosen by the Lord, you will hear God talk all the time. He spoke to Ezekiel. He spoke to everybody that he wanted to speak to, Moses. That's why I be trying to tell people, like, what is the point of a pastor? That's why when people like, preach, pastor, don't call me a pastor unless you're a pastor. Don't call me a prophet unless you're a prophet. You can't call me something that you're not. I'm you, you are me. And if everybody's saying, oh, God told me, then you don't have to tell me nothing because God told me the same thing. Just say the message. Glory be unto the Lord. You don't need to say, I don't know who this is for. You should know who it's for if you're talking to people that are identical to you. Glory beyond. Are you following? Are y'all hearing what I'm saying? He literally sat here and he said, then he set his countenance in a stare until he was ashamed, and the man of God wept. And then he told him, you guys daydream all the time. We call it daydreaming. But what you're doing is astral projecting yourself into the future of something, and you're not really paying attention to it because you just think it's daydreaming. That's why we be like, oh, this is deja vu, because you already seen it and lived it in the spirit several times over. Glory beyond. That's why in Ecclesiastic, he says there's nothing new under the sun. How? Nothing new under the sun. The sun, Christ, the spirit. There's nothing new because it has lived so many times over and over and over again. That's why God said it's already written. Like, I'll be trying to explain people, why, Blakk, why are you so chill? Because everything's already written. I already done lived this life before. You feel what I'm saying? The image may have changed, but the spirits that remain have always been the same. All that's happening is things being reincarnated. Oh, I don't believe in reincarnation. But you eat apples. Yeah. You eat oranges? Yeah. That don't make no sense, Blakk. I know. To you, glory be unto the Lord. How can you see something reincarnate itself and you don't believe in reincarnation? How you don't believe in reincarnation, but you see a baby being born every day? Glory be unto the Lord. Are you understand? Are you following what I'm saying? You may have a different name for it, but it's still the same spirit. Glory beyond. An apple is not called an apple in Spanish or Japanese, but it's still an apple. Okay, I know I'm cooking. That's what I'm trying to tell you. If you really want to know what your tomorrow is going to bring, get into the spirit with the Lord that's creating it right now. Stay connected with the Lord and he will tell you everything. This is what I'm saying about the spiritual. And this is why man doesn't like the spiritual, is because the job is an endless job. You have an everlasting life. This is why I respect people and honor people who love the Lord and dedicate their life to living in the light. There's a lot of people that may come into the light just for temper and then they go back permanently in the darkness. Are you understand what I'm saying? God said, anybody that turns their heart to me, I will turn to them. Anybody that honors me, I will honor them. So people can say, Lord, I love you. And because he's a fair God, he comes and he shows them a life that shows his unconditional love in theirs. And they'll be like, oh yeah, I'm cool with that. And they'll start that road. And then they'll get tired of living in the light and staying obedient and dedicated to the standards. And then they go back into the darkness. I know y'all hearing what I'm saying. I know y'all following what I'm saying. That's why I respect you guys. And I'm like, no, I cannot let you drop your faith. And that's why Christ and God and the legions of angels, they don't have no pity for people who have made that choice to backslide, because it's like, you feel what I'm saying? You're not going to do God like that. You're not going to do him like that. He showed you your righteous future. He told Jeroboam before he came king what he was going to do. He showed King Nebuchadnezzar, and we'll get to a little section of that. God always showed everybody. He showed, and and let me put this in there too while I'm cooking. It's not only for the negative, it's for the positive as well. See, you're dwelling in the spirit of Christ that can do all things. So listen, my loved one, when you get your prophecy that you're supposed to unravel through just experiencing life, and then things for the Father, the Son, and the Holy Comforter, right? You're going to see both sides of it. Anytime a prophet tells you, when you read, go in Ezekiel or go to Daniel or wherever, they always tell you both sides of it. God shows you what the left hand is doing, and God is showing you what the right hand is doing. And then sometimes he just keeps it away from both hands. But God will show you what he's going to do to the darkness, and then God shows you what he's going to do to the light. And then he's going to show you what he's going to do to evil, and then what he's going to do to the good. Are you understand what I'm saying? And people understand that, and then they be like, God be like, it's up to you what side you want to pick. That's why I tell people all the time, it's up to you. I could care less. You know why? Because I know what is written for me, being of the light and ordained by God to be a child of his, not to be adopted in, but born to be. I'm going to survive regardless. It's whatever you want to do in your heart. But I told you, if you be right with me, you're going to live in abundance. We're going to be good together because I'm you, you are me. I'm not going to backstab myself. But if you play with me, you're going to be playing by yourself in an area that you never wanted to be pushed into, because I'm going to Spartan kick you over there to let you know not to play with me. Glory be unto the Lord. That's why God shows you what he shows you, so you can always be prepared. That's why we can't sit here and be like, I don't know why this happened. I can't believe that, Lord. I can't believe that when your people say that, because I know our God always gives a warning. He warns everybody. Glory be unto the Lord. Even nations that have nothing to do with the prophecy, he still warns them. What happened right here? Let me go back. Chapter 8. Chapter 8, still in 2 Kings, chapter 8, verse 2. So the woman, arise, verse 1. Elisha says, arise to the woman whose child he healed. Arise and go, you and your household, and stay wherever you can, for the Lord has called for a famine, and furthermore, it will come upon the land for 7 years. So the woman arose and did according to the saying of the man of God. Are you understand what I'm saying? He warned a person that he didn't have to warn, but because she abided with him, he gave her an update. Hey, get up out of here. There's about to be a 7-year famine on this land. Go somewhere where you can. Or we going to go stay with the Philistines. Are they of the Philistines? No, but God still made them a home over there. Glory be unto the Lord. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. Because y'all are of the light and you have decreed yourself to that, God may say, go stay in the darkness just for a little bit. Blakk, that don't make no sense. It do, because darkness can't overtake you, but you could blend in with it. Are you following what I'm saying? See, sometimes God is going to put you somewhere that's not going to be plummeted. Even though it may not be the best living statures, you'll still be a standard that God can uphold righteously in that area. But the area that you're in, because it's so much wicked and he has to purify it and re-cleanse it, he doesn't want you to be plummeted with that thing that he's allowing to purge. That's why he's giving you the update, so your faith and everything he showed you cannot just save you but your whole household. Glory be unto the Lord. This woman was the woman that seen the prophet walking to and fro. She's like, hey, let's make him an upper room. It was her. And because the tethering she had with that prophet saved her whole house, even her son, past death. Glory be unto the Lord. That's why God is showing you prophetic things, because he wants you not to just save your household, but the earth you're inheriting. Glory be unto the Lord. It's not always about the betrayal. It's about a trail that you need to take so you can take you and your people into the pastures of peace that God has decreed for you and everybody around you. But sometimes you have to go through the valley of the shadow of death to get there. And that's why he's giving you the update so you have no fear as you walk that course. Glory be unto the Lord. That's why when he sat here and he told Hazael, bro, you about to do that king dirty, bro. What? And then goes and do it. See, you be trying to tell people about you, but God's trying to tell you about that person you're explaining yourself to. Glory be unto the Lord. And God was trying to tell you, don't even open your mouth to them. They are not going to be for you permanently. They are a season. And you are the salt of earth. And they're trying to use you to fillet their meat off somebody else they preyed on. That boy just cooked the whole meal. Huh? That's why God is telling you to be cautious. That's why God's telling you to be diligent. Because there's a great thing that's happening for you. But those grapevines that you're tethered to, he needs you to save them as well. And those rotten fruit, he's trying to tell you which ones out of your group are not going. And see, everybody got to have that no pity when it comes to spiritual and the organization that you stand for. See, Christ didn't have no pity for Judas. He did, hey, that's between you and God. I'm just letting you know. I know who's going to betray me. Me? What? I'm not going to do that. Right, Peter. Are you understand what I'm saying? See, Christ told them, but because it didn't happen yet, they were still able to defend it. Glory be on. See, when you had that dream or that vision and somebody cheated on you, y'all know how, well, the ones that's been around, I don't believe in cheating. Glory be unto the Lord. I don't believe in that word, because if God is telling you what's going on, there's no way somebody could cheat you out of your position, out of your pain, out of whatever. You selected and chose that person to have some dwelling with. And once you open that door, whatever happened, you have to deal with. Glory be unto the Lord. I do believe in adultery on a spiritual level based off of the marriage we share with the Lord. But getting back to the topic, you had a vision, and God gave you a vision, and he showed you what was to come. And you may have woken up and it startled you a little bit, made you feel sick to your stomach, right? And we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that. And you went to this individual like, do you love me? I'm like, yeah, I love you. You sure you love me? Because I had a dream that, and they be like, baby, what are you talking about? Right? Like, don't lie to me, Derek. Right? Keisha, don't you lie to me. I ain't did none of that. And they were being truthful. They didn't do none of it yet. But because you're a baby in your spiritual gifts, you didn't understand that you went forth and seen something, because God caters to you and favors you to warn you, to prepare you what's about to happen. Now listen, my loved one, it's going to happen if their heart is truly not for the Lord. Glory be on. It's going to happen. And see, that's why God was trying to prepare you like he prepared Daniel. My Lord. Y'all got to understand this. And then it happens. And then you say, see, I told you, you a liar. Da, 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 da. And they be like, no, because see, look, da, 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 da. They didn't lie to you. When you asked them about it, they never committed it. They didn't even know what you were talking about. You feel me? Then it happened. They came, confessed it. And then you said, I told you, right? You did tell them. But they're not gifted like you. They're not of the Spirit. They're not connected with God like you are, nor do they care to be. And that's why God didn't give them a new mind, a new body, a new soul, and a new heart to do righteous by you, because they're not doing righteous by him. Glory be on. And he don't care about that. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all about God. God cares about you. He could care less about who you're trying to cater to. He's a jealous God. So he don't care if it's going to break. And guess what? It's going to break your heart. And guess what I'm going to be? Right there to heal it. Glory be on. And next time you'll wait for me to give you the people that are really for you. And that's me and everybody that's for me. Come on, man. That's why he told Moses. Moses is good in all my houses. But y'all, Y'all easy to be replaced. But you, what is he gonna tell you? How long are you gonna mourn? Because I'm trying to get back to fulfilling things. No. If you need time, I'll give you some time. Glory be on. But I just need to know how long you gonna mourn, because I'm gonna put everybody else on a pause of grace, because I could care less if they eat or not. I only care about you, and I'm not gonna leave you in your pain. So if we're gonna take a month off, then the whole world about to take a month off. Glory be on. You don't have to believe me, but I'm telling you the truth. And then people get so, look, listen, this is why it ends up becoming a few people, because a lot of people can't handle it. A lot of people can't handle that. So they go back to the darkness and they be like, no, that's just too much for me. They become scared. So they go into the fear, and God be like, all right, cool. That's why I say many are called, but few are chosen. A lot of people can't handle this divineness. A lot of people don't want to know about their divineness and their elements of spiritual. But guess what? God is still being fair, and he's warning everybody. But they don't want to listen. They don't want to heed it. But he said, my true sheep, he's the shepherd. They heed my voice. And no matter what, you always listen to God. And you try your best, just like Raven, when she got her little premonitions, try to change it up, and it still happens. That's why I'm trying to tell people, just go with the flow. I used to tell people all the time, you going to play me. Like, what you talking about? I love you. Glory be unto the Lord. And then when it happens, they give me the dumb look. It's all right, bro. You forgiven. But no, Blakk, because it's cool, bro. You feel what I'm saying? I'm being so real with you. And I thank God for just seeing it, because at the same time, it's a test to your relationship with God. He wants to see how you're going to respond to him after they did what they did to you. I ain't switching up on God. I thank him. And I just tell him, only bring me righteous people. Only allow people to do business with me. But if they're going to be on a personal level with me, they need to have a heavy personal relationship with you. Glory be on. But I don't look for people no more. I don't care. And now my visions have changed. And God starts showing me things that me and him do together. And things that he wants from me, just like Joseph, right? Joseph got the vision. Y'all gonna bow to me. What? Because he was all for the Lord. And that's what I'm trying to get y'all to be. All for the Lord, and just enjoy everybody else's company. See, people let other people dictate how they're going to have dominion over their life. No. See, if you love the Lord above everybody else, then everybody that you deal with will respect that relationship you have with God, just like they did with Joseph, just like they did with Christ. Even though Peter was trying to get Christ to take another road, what did he say? Get behind me, Satan. I was there. I went to the spiritual. They're having a conversation about you right now, Peter. What? Yeah. Satan want to switch you like wheat. He wants to, but God hasn't given authority yet. Why? Because it's based off your actions. But I'm letting you know, either way, I taught the faith. See, Christ already spoke the faith on your behalf. And because you're a faithful servant to the Lord, just like he exposed to Abraham, I could cook all day. I know y'all got a short time, but I'm trying to explain to y'all. When Abraham became a friend, what did he tell his angels? I could expose it to him now. He's a friend of ours. See, you're a friend of God. That's why he's looking out for you. Just like a friend out here, I'm looking out for you. Just like if you was somewhere at work and I went to the club and I seen your girl or your boyfriend in there, but we cool. I'm like, hey, they ain't here. Right? That's all God's doing. Hey, there's a wolf in your presence. Hey, there's a backstabber in your group. There's a demon in your pack. But he's not telling you to be afraid. He's just telling you to be aware. Give them a few grapes. It's okay. I'm going to replace it. Don't worry about it. If they touch you, my vengeance is on it. Don't trip on that. Are y'all following what I'm saying? But God has given you that gift. So when you see it, just like he told Daniel, keep your mouth shut sometimes. Let it play out. But if God puts it on you heavy to say something and let them say whatever. Don't change your course. Let it be what it's going to be. Glory be on. It's okay. It's gonna be okay, but feel rejoiceful that you have that connection with God. And that's why I want to have this conversation, because God is not just showing you, oh, they're trying to out you. They're trying to out you. No, he's trying to show you the intro to your new life. He's trying to say, hey, I just completed this for you. They can't go, so I'm going to harden their heart. They're going to do something to you, but that's okay, because what they do to you is going to give you a due that I can add to your balance of blessings. Don't trip on them. See, everybody got to understand, God is first and last. And if people around you don't respect that, you should already know what's going to come without God showing you what's about to happen. But sometimes we allow love to blind us, and God is not going to let no veil, you understand what I'm saying, blind us to the point that we're not gaining the victories he wants us to have. And this is why Hazael, it's your heart. It's your heart. You don't even really care for the king like that. You probably was the one that made him sick. Glory be on. And then you take a towel and put it over his face. After you talk to a prophet, I don't even think you guys are understanding clearly of what I'm cooking for you right now. There's people that know you're anointed in some way. They seen you do miracles, even if it was at a petite level. You understand what I'm saying? Glory be unto the Lord. But they witnessed it, and they know you're a little different in how you show compassion in your heart. And yet, just like Hazael, they're going to play with you. They're going to disrespect your anointing. They're going to try to not analyze your gifts to the point that God gave it to you. They're analyzing it like, how can I betray them still? Okay, they're showing me this gift. I'm a manipulator. That's my gift. I'm a narcissist. I'm not. You see what I'm saying? I pray that y'all see what I'm saying. But I'm not asking you to move paranoid in this world like, who's against me? It don't matter who's against you if you know who's for you. Glory be on to the Lord. Hey, Blakk, I wouldn't trust him. I trust God. I don't even trust you. Glory be on. I'm telling you. And it's okay to be that way. I tell my loved ones all the time, put all your love in the Lord. Trust that spirit that dwells within you and believe and know that that spirit will never lie to you. There's been things that happen in my life, and that's why I'm having this conversation with y'all, because the spirit within me would connect with God, and he'd be like, go on a walk. I'm like, pop up, go down the street. You feel what I'm saying? And something happened around my house. Glory beyond. Or God be like, don't go to work today. And then something would happen at the job. I'm trying to tell y'all. Hey, this person gonna tell you something, let them say that, but respond like this, and then look how they look. I'm trying to tell y'all the truth. And I just want my divine lovers of the Lord to understand how much divineness comes with their gifts so they can always unravel their tomorrow to know. See, everybody who isn't really locked in with the Lord uses what Christ said, like, oh, don't worry about your tomorrow. People are worried about their today. So that's why he's saying, don't worry about tomorrow. Tomorrow has its own thing to worry about. You're not worried because you trust in the Lord. You rejoice and be glad in him. So you can look into your tomorrow and be like, oh, I'm straight. Are you understand what I'm saying? People are using their gifts on a shorter level without even knowing it. When people pull out their clothes, and they got them already laid out, and they're already putting in their head what they're going to do tomorrow when they get to work, that's prophesizing. You're already seeing how it's going to play out. And you're adding the tools like, if this happens, the scenarios, you're doing it. But then when God does it, nobody wants to believe it. Oh, I believe it. Oh, I believe it. When you start feeling that spiritual pain, like you about to give birth or something, or you about to start your period, oh, trust and believe. That is the confirmation that is about to happen. You don't have to believe me. And it's not always a negative. If God showed you something in a dream, like, oh, I'm about to be gifted this, and you start feeling that pain, oh, I'm about to get birth. It's here. And it always comes with tears. It always comes with sorrows. It always comes with lamentating, even if it's a good thing, my loves. I'm trying to tell you. Are you understand what I'm saying? I'm trying to tell you. When Hagar ran away in tears, lamentating because how Sarah treated her, did she not run into an angel who prophesied her life? Who told her what's going to happen with her son Ishmael and why she needs to go back? And okay then. Glory be unto the Lord. You have to understand that's what God is doing with you and why he's showing you what it is. And then people be like, well, when is it going to happen? You'll know. Just like a woman knows when that water break, it's time. And they already know what they got to go through to deliver that baby. So when you start feeling that, a lot of people don't like that feeling. That's why they try to stay out of the spiritual. It's going to happen if you feel it or not. You can take a numbing agent where you don't feel so much pain, but it's still going to happen. And see, a lot of people are trying to numb themselves and stay in the flesh to try to think it's going to counteract what's the prophecy to happen. It's going to be fulfilled. When Christ went forth and he started feeling that pain and started feeling those sweats and started crying out to the Lord, he said, it's time. How do you know? I know. Y'all know everything. Y'all are the nervous system to the Lord. Write that down and remember that. You are God's nervous system. You are God's portal opener. You are God's key. You are the great I am's objects and equipment. That's why when people are like, oh, use me, Lord, and then he starts using them and be like, well, I can't use you fully until you get rid of this, this, and this. And people are like, oh, well, no, you just use me at this level then, because that's my boo. Yeah, and that's the person that's about to make you a ghost, and you're going to be out there boo-hooing on the other side with Casper and them. Glory be unto the Lord. No, I'm not saying they're going to probably take you out this life, but they're going to kill the relationship you have with God, and now you boo-hooing because you lost that access. I'm trying to tell you, man. Watch this, though. Daniel chapter 4, he breaks down the vision to the king, but 27 is what I want to reach out to you guys and let you taste. He says, therefore, O king, let my advice be acceptable to you. Break off your sins by being righteous and your iniquities by showing mercy to the poor. Perhaps there may be a lengthening of your prosperity. Now, God would have not let Daniel say that if that wasn't a possibility. Now, how do I know this? Because God prophesied to somebody beforehand, before he gave a hand to King Nebuchadnezzar to rule Babylon. Glory be unto the Lord. The thing that he had a problem with King Nebuchadnezzar is he kept putting the eye in himself instead of putting it in him. And he kept trying to remind him. And every time he reminded him, he would get a terrible feeling to the point that he could not carry on with the day. And Daniel came back and like, listen, bro, I'm telling you, you know the God that I'm talking about. He don't play. But if you do this, it's a possibility, glory be unto the Lord, that you can lengthen your prosperities. But some people just have too much pride. How many times have you prophesied in somebody's life without knowing you prophesied? And you try warning them like, hey, bro, you might want to start that right now. Now, you good. You got away with it, bro. But you keep doing that, things going to happen. And people are like, no, you jinxed me. No, I did not jinx you. I told you the route that you was on was going to come with it. I didn't jinx you. I cannot jinx nobody. I can only match their faith. And a lot of people are putting faith in crooked roads rather than the narrow one. And God is sending you out to help them like, hey, you're still a portion to God. But if you keep acting like this, he's going to divide you all the way. And a lot of people are getting divided because of that. They'll rather be the chaff in the wind rather than the person that God's trying to give a wind to. Glory be unto the Lord. And that's why God is telling you right now, limit what you're doing. Put your personal desires on the back burner and help me cook this up. And then we could get back to that. But right now, let's limit your intake so I can pour into you and show you what's to come on the good side and the bad side. Glory be unto the Lord. If you have a good heart, even when you see the bad side, you know that's not going to affect you. God's just showing you who he's about to infect with that curse and who he's about to anoint and atone for the blessings. Glory be on. That's why I need to talk to you guys, because a lot of people are having these visuals and this intimate relationship with God, and they're becoming fearful because they're like, oh, like, no, man, no, you're good. God's trying to show you who's the worst ones in your group and who you dealing with, who he doesn't like you dealing with, because it's leading him into jealousy because how you're starting to act in your frequency towards the God that's giving the favor over your life. That's why God is showing you all he's showing you. There has been people, man, I'm about to tell y'all something real personal. There has been people. You remember, I think it's Insignia. It's one of them little horror movies. You remember them people? They were sitting at a table or something, and they seen that demon behind the guy. He had like a red face, black, whatever. You don't have to believe me, but you can literally see people's spirits. And everybody comes with a spirit. And when people be talking about extra baggage, if you take extra baggage and bring it into the spiritual, you will see extra spirits tethered to people. Glory be unto the Lord. Now, I may have made a disgusting face, but I'm just saying, there's a lot of dirty people out there that don't even know that they're dirty. But God has given you the anointing in the spirit that when they come around with extra baggage, you can feel it sometimes. It's just nasty. And if you calm yourself down, you feel me? You can literally hear your spirits of righteousness explaining to you what their spirits are whispering in their ear to do to you. Some people are subconscious when they act against you. Glory be unto the Lord. Go watch Odd Thomas. I think that's the best. That's the best movie I can give you if you're really trying to understand your gift. But this is why God wants you to give him so much time so he can incline you throughout the periods of your life. You feel what I'm saying? So you can peer into the spiritual life that you're really living and see life for what it really is. So when you live in this delusion, it doesn't give you a mirage like that you'll fall for. You just, oh, that's fake. That's fake. That's vanity. That's vanity. I'm telling you. That's why I'm so comfortable with people. Because you can feel the enlightenment of a pure heart, and then you can feel when somebody's trying to deceive you and play with you. And guess what? Sometimes that deceivingness is your lesson. It is your long suffering. Paul getting smacked in the face, Peter getting whacked. You feel what I'm saying? They already knew that was to come. That's why they kept singing. Glory be unto the Lord. I'm trying to help y'all understand some stuff. There's other verses that you can read that you can understand, like, yo, pay attention to your dreams. Especially if you're a person that don't dream and then you get one, glory beyond. But that's why God's like, yo, you trying to win, you got to really lock in. You really got to give me your full heart so I can incorporate my instructions on it, so I can lead you righteously, so you can go through less and gain more instead of getting more lessons and getting less. Okay? Understand that? So just take it all in that this is your divine gift. Do not run from it. Do not be afraid. A lot of people are afraid to dwell into the spirit because of what they truly see. But this is your life. The spiritual is your life. You have been led by a man to this tradition of the blindness that you'll rather look at this rather than what's really going on in the spiritual. And I was in a session one time and a woman was having a situation and she was very frantic. And I'm just like, calm down. She's like, no, Blakk, I can't deal with these spirits, man. These spirits, da, da, da. And what helped her, right? I said, are you scared of the spirit or are you scared of the pressure that's coming behind the spirit? She was like, what do you mean? I said, you deal with spirits all the time, but you don't pay attention to the presence and the pressure that comes with that spirit. She's like, can you elaborate? And I did. Glory be unto the Lord. You feel what I'm saying? I did. And like I told y'all, spiritual and strong and those who are meant to understand. But because I was on a session with this woman already, I decided to elaborate. And I said, if I was in your house and you greeted me at the door, before you greeted me at the door, I either rung the doorbell or I knocked. She said, yes. I said, but even before you seen me, you just assumed it was me. She said, yes. I said, with confidence, you didn't look through the peephole, you just opened the door. She said, yes. I said, but it's a spirit that's ringing your doorbell or knocking on it. I said, if you have a child and you shut the door and you hear banging going on outside, you're not tripping because you know that's my child out there doing whatever that they doing. But you're not affected by that spirit doing whatever it's doing because you put an imagination to the image of that spirit being your child. And the whole time it could be somebody robbing your house, right? But we don't think like that. Glory be unto the Lord. What I'm trying to get at is because you have an image to attach to that spirit, you don't find that spirit to be a demonic spirit. Man, I could cook all day, bro. I could cook all day, but because when you hear knocking, but you don't have an image to give to it, you automatically think it's demonic when it could just be God getting your attention. But you're basing it off of what you dealt with and what's really going on in your heart. So you label everything to be demonic based off of your experience in your own entity. Woo, he gonna cook. Are you understand what I'm saying? If my house serves the Lord and I hear knocking or I hear movement, why would I think it's a demon? No, it's an angel. Are you understand what I'm saying? Because the angels ministered onto that spirit of Christ that dwells within us. But if you're thinking, oh, get out of here. Why? They're doing the same thing your child's doing and just living in your presence. But because they don't have an image for you, you automatically attach it to no. Are you understand what I'm saying? How are they treating you? What's the presence that they're giving you? An angel will always come with a terrible presence of that feeling because they're a pressure of potency. Jacob explained that to us when he was laying underneath the ladder that went between earth and heaven. And the angels were descending and ascending off of it. And he said, oh, that was a terrible feeling. But what is happening in that terrible? Is it a righteous thing taking place? They may be there to give you a download. They may be there to protect you for something that's about to hit your door, right? What happened with Lot? The perverted people came knocking on their door when? After the angels entered. Glory be unto the Lord. You don't know what those angels look like. Y'all not hearing nothing that I'm saying. Somebody's over there trying to be perverted with you, and those angels are over there trying to protect you, and you over there telling them to get out. They're like, all right, cool, whatever. And then you get bit by something, and now you over here saying, Blakk, can you pray for me? God already know you didn't need prayer. You wouldn't need prayer because he put his angels in charge over you. You understand what I'm saying? If you're really with God, then take it all. Daniel lived in a land with haters that wanted him dead and threw him in a cave with lions, and it still didn't happen because what did he say? God's angels beat me to the location. Glory be on. Are you understand what I'm saying? The king fasted all night and couldn't sleep and ran with haste to remove the door to save Daniel. God's children are losing sleep behind you to protect you, to make sure you're good to go. His angels are up watching over you without blinking to make sure you're good to go. And when people come around with you with that demonic energy, that low frequency, unclean energy, your angels already preparing you. Don't say too much to that person. But what do? Start babbling on. They try to do something, make you stub your toe or bite your tongue, and yet you still want to say something. Glory be unto the Lord. Then they be like, they ain't listening, God. Show them a vision. And then you go right back to that person and tell them everything. Not just something of, I'm keeping my eye on you. Why? I had a vision. Tell me. I won't. We'll just see if it happens. If it happens, then I'll explain it to you. Are you understand what I'm saying? Glory beyond. Sometimes if you love that person, you can be like, look, you about to do something, but I pray you don't do it. This is what I had in the vision. And sometimes you can help them just like with Peter. Christ loved Peter. But that's because God told Christ Peter would be his next cornerstone. Are you understand what I'm saying? So he didn't take it in the fact of, you're going to deny me and I'm mad at you, Peter. No, you're going to do that because you're still in the flesh, Peter, and you're still afraid, Peter. But it's going to be all cool. And after he did what he did, go read. Did he not have a sad feeling where he was crying profusely or whatever the word is? That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. That's why them people be crying. You be like, what's wrong, babe? You remember when you told me, well, because, and then you be all upset. You already seen it. I know why you crying. It's all right. You want to talk about it? No, we don't need to talk about it because I already spoke on it. Now, what you trying to do? And see, a lot of people break relationships because they can't deal with it. And God you could have just been like, no, I'm cool with it because you're going to do something to me. Oh, you paranoid. See, that's that. No, just go with your spirit. You would save yourself so much heartache. Save yourself so much pain by just listening to the Lord and be like, no, I'm cool because you're going to do me something, so I'm going to get out of it right now. And a lot of people deal with you in a way to make you deal with it until it happens, and then you mad at yourself. If you would just listen to God and get out of there before they do it, everything cool. It don't matter if they believe it or not. You saw what you seen, and if you don't want to experience it, get out of there. I'm talking from Big Brother standpoint now. Get out of there. You feel me? Why you gonna walk in a house that got the door open? Hello? You trying to get hit by Michael Myers. You feel me? Get back in that car and just go find you a new house on Zillow. Because whoever in it got whatever they needed, and now they know you ain't gonna feel the same in there no more. Glory beyond. And that's all God's trying to help you is get out of that darkness before that darkness try to take over your life, or get out of that darkness before that pestilence within the darkness affects you in a certain way that's going to make you feel like God forsakes you along the way. Oh, God never do that to you. So just pay attention to that, man. When you're talking to people that are not inclined spiritually, understand that they're not going to understand. That understanding God gave you was to keep you well balanced in how you're standing with him and abiding with him. So to keep you from getting bit too hard, he gave you the update. But God's with whatever you with. You want to tell him, go ahead and tell him. You don't want to say nothing? Don't say nothing. If you want to stay, I'll get the antidotes ready. If you want to leave, I got their replacements on go. You feel me? That's on a dually, man. I love y'all. Hopefully this helped y'all. Hopefully y'all go and read your words on your life inside this good book. And you see other things that I talked about. And then compare it to what you already been through and see the times that you used this gift to go forth in the future. Do the same thing you did. Fast, meditate, and pray. And then you know when your blessings going to come. You know who gonna come help you and support you. You know the exact dates that God's gonna deliver things and open things up to keep you prepared and ready. You know what I'm saying? On the dually to be delivered. All right? Guess what, y'all? I love y'all. And y'all know I forgot. Y'all know I forgot to ask for my meal, but it's okay. I'll get it back on the back end. I don't want to hear nothing. But that shark fin from the last time, oh, delicious. Glory be unto the Lord. I love y'all. Know this for sure. It's not a regular love, a Christ love. And for two, Elohim is over everything. If it ain't C7, it ain't G. I love y'all, man.